Hi children, welcome back to our class. Last two classes we were seeing that laws of chemical combination, and we have seen who derived the term atoms. We have seen it is John Dalton, and the postulates of Dalton's atomic theory also we have seen. Now we know that which are the basic structural units of or building blocks of all the materials seen around us. That is, if we are taking the example of a wall or a building, have you seen that mason building that walls using the bricks and all whatever it is, a hollow brick or mono brick or normal brick, whatever it is, did you notice that? So, bricks are the basic units of all the buildings and all. In between, for binding them, we are adding cement, concrete, etc. But the basic repeating structural units for a building, entire building is brick. Okay. Same way, everything in the universe is made up of matter particles, and we have given that scientists have given the name for the matter particles as atoms. Okay. So, now we can say that atoms are the building blocks of all the materials present around us. Okay. And you know that atoms are very small, the size of the atoms are very small. We cannot see it with our naked eye. Normal eye, we cannot observe any atoms there. Okay, then normally a question will be then why do we bother about these atoms? Atoms are the basic structural units, they are still there, and the size is very small, we are not able to view it with our naked eye. So, why should we bother about their existence and all? Because they are the building blocks of all the materials, so we should consider them based on what basis they are combining there and how do they combine to form different materials and all. We should care of all these things, though they are very small. So, for that let us discuss the size of the atoms. Atoms are very small, and in terms of a particular unit, if you are measuring the size of a hydrogen atom, that atomic radii of hydrogen atom is found as radius of hydrogen atoms are found as 10 raised to minus 10 meter. It is measured in meters. If you are measuring the radius of an atom, it will be 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Okay, that much smaller is the size of the atom. And if you are measuring the size in nanometer, 1 meter is equal to 10 raised to 9 nanometer. 10 raised to 9 nanometer, or 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meters. Okay, 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meters. So, in this way we can measure the size of the atoms. Atoms, we are telling that in that conclusion that they are appearing as a sphere. Okay, on that conclusion we are measuring the size of the atom by measuring the radius. Okay, and for the hydrogen atom seems to be 10 raised to minus 10 meters. So, that much smaller will be the size of the atom. Okay, so if such a small thing, how we will represent it if they are undergoing a chemical reaction? How do we represent them? That is our first question. They will participate according to the laws of chemical combination. They are combining to produce materials of different properties, and different materials we are getting that we have seen. Now, our question is, if they are the structural unit, how we will represent them for undergoing, if we want to represent a chemical reaction, how do we represent these atoms while participating in a chemical reaction? That we can by taking that certain symbols. That also was given by John Dalton. he gave some, initially he gave that some symbols for denoting that atoms. For example, we can say that water contain oxygen there and carbon dioxide also contain oxygen. So, how we will represent oxygen there in both the cases? If you are taking a common symbol there, we can easily represent that water molecule there or carbon dioxide material there, like so we can represent them if we know a particular short form, isn't it? So, there comes the need of making representations for the atoms, and John Dalton used a pictorial representation for representing the atoms and all. Okay, that was the initial representation or symbols used for small notations used for the atoms, that is symbols. And the earlier symbols was based on picture method. So, pictorial symbols were derived by John Dalton to represent different atoms of different elements. At that time, a few elements were discovered during that 18th century and all. Few elements only were discovered. So, it was very easy to represent them using pictorial representation. But later the number of elements increased. That time it was very difficult to follow that pictorial representation. Okay. Now we can see what are the pictorial representation for different elements. John Dalton took this representation for hydrogen. This is the representation for hydrogen. If you want to write that water, instead of writing water, we can use the symbol of hydrogen and symbol of oxygen to represent water molecule. Okay, but during that time, as this is very big symbol, it was very difficult. Okay, and phosphorus he represented using this symbol, copper using this symbol. So, based on these symbols, he represented different atoms of different elements there. Okay. Now, after seeing that, after discovery of different other elements, this method of symbol was found to be very difficult to follow. So, another scientist, Berzelius, he gave another symbols for representing different atoms or atoms of different elements. He gave another method for deriving the symbols. Okay. At that time, if you are considering or deriving the symbols of an element, he said that either we can opt with the English name of that particular element. We can consider the English name, or we can consider Greek or Latin name in some other cases. Okay. So, either we can consider the English name, or we can consider the Latin or Greek name. And we can take any letters from that name. Suppose if we want to represent the element hydrogen, we will write that hydrogen name there as hydrogen, Hydrogen. From the spelling, any letter we can choose for taking as a symbol. And probably we will be taking more prominent letter in that name. And suppose there are more than two elements or more than one element is there with the same letter. For example, for carbon we are taking from that name, that C we are taking. Then for calcium also C if we are decided to take. Then for two elements the same symbol or same letters will be there. So you will not be able to identify. So at that time, we can select one more letter from that name which may not be the second letter always, which is a prominent other letter from that same name. And for carbon, he has taken that C only, and then for calcium that is also starting with the first letter carbon. So first letter we are choosing that, and in that first letter both are same. So at that time in the case of calcium, he has taken one more letter. Ca means we can take A also. So calcium, Ca is the symbol for calcium. Okay, so if more than one element are there with the same starting letter, then we can take one more letter from the name, and whenever we are writing the symbol, there is a particular rule to be followed. First letter, if only one letter is there, that letter is written as capital letter always. For carbon, you cannot write the small letter C as the symbol, you have to write capital letter C. Okay, and if it is calcium, two letters are there. When you are writing a symbol of two letters, the first letter should be capital letter and the second letter should be small letter. That is the rule for writing the symbol. So, this type of symbol was derived by Berzelius. Now, we can see some symbols of some commonly using elements. Okay, some commonly using element symbols we can see, and these symbols, some of these are derived from English names. So, first of all we can see the symbols derived from English name. Okay, one by one we can see the elements. The hydrogen, that is the name of the element. Then for hydrogen we are writing the symbol H, that only one letter is there, that is capital letter. Then helium, He, we are writing two letters are the first letter capital and second letter small. Always write like this, but don't write like this, this is wrong. Okay, this is completely wrong. If you are writing, I will not give you mark there like this. Whenever, once if you studied the symbol, you have to follow the same method always. Then lithium, that symbol for lithium is Li, first letter L capital and second letter I small letter. Then we can see the remaining one by one. Then the third element is, next element is beryllium. There also first letter capital, second letter small be. Then boron, that also starts with B, only one letter. Carbon, C. Nitrogen, N. Oxygen, again O. Symbol for atoms, O. Then fluorine, it is not Fl, it is only F. So, sometimes in the examination you will be asking, some of you will be writing as Fl, it is wrong there, it is not Fl, if it is F, fluorine. Then neon, two letters are there, Ne. Magnesium, two letters are the Mg, first letter capital and then second letter small. Then comes aluminium, Al, first letter capital, second letter small. Then silicon, Si. Phosphorus, only one letter, P. Then sulfur, again one letter, S. Chlorine, two letters are the first letter capital and second letter. It is not the second letter in that name, it is third letter. Any letter we can adopt and it is Cl, chlorine. Then we can see argon, Ar, calcium, Ca. Then barium, Ba. Bromine, Br, same starting letter, so one more letter we have opted the Ba for barium and Br for bromine. Okay. Then we have seen cobalt, we can see cobalt is CO, we have already written there C for carbon, then calcium Ca, here it is CO. Then uranium, U. It is only one letter, that is capital. Zinc, it is Zn. Iodine, it is again capital letter I. And then manganese, it is Mn. Okay. Mn. Magnesium is Mg and manganese Mn. So, these are the symbols for commonly using elements. Once again, you can see that. One more time, one by one we can see. Hydrogen H, helium He, lithium Li, then beryllium Be, boron B, carbon C, nitrogen N, oxygen O, fluorine F, neon Ne, magnesium Mg, aluminium Al, silicon Si, phosphorus P, sulfur S, chlorine Cl, argon Ar, barium Ba, calcium Ca, bromine Br, cobalt Co, uranium U, zinc Zn, iodine I, and manganese Mn. These are the symbols derived from their English name, and some other names, symbols are derived from the Latin name, that also we can see. Okay, that also we can see symbols derived from Latin name. That is first one, antimony. We can see antimony, and that antimony is this is English name and this is Latin name, and here we are going to write the symbol, the antimony. From that Latin name we have derived the symbol, and that symbol for antimony is Sb. Then sodium, its Latin name is natrium, so we are writing Na, and this is the common mistake you are making. Whenever you were asked to write that symbol for sodium, majority of you are writing that So. It is not So, it is Na. Sodium is derived from Latin name Na symbol. Then potassium, kalium, it is K, capital letter K, only one letter. Then iron is ferrum. Iron Latin name is ferrum, and we can see that the iron symbol for iron is Fe. Lead is plumbum and it is Pb. Mercury is hydrargyrum and it is Hg. Gold is aurum, Au. Then silver is Ag. Silver is Ag. Argentum, name is argentum, Ag. Tin, stannum, Sn. And then finally copper, Cu. So these symbols are derived from their Latin names. One more time we can see that one by one. Antimony, stibium, Sb. Sodium, natrium, Na. Potassium, kalium, K. Iron, ferrum, Fe. Lead, plumbum, Hg. Gold, aurum, Au. Silver, argentum, Ag. Now only need to study the English name and symbol. Then tin, stannum, Sn, and copper, cuprum, Cu. You have to by heart the symbols from their English name. First you study the name and then symbol. No need of studying the name in English or Latin, whatever it is. Just study the English name and their symbol. No need of studying that Latin name. Just if you are getting time, you can memorize that also. But remember that whenever you are asked to write the symbol for sodium, it should be Na, not So. So if you are thorough with the symbols, then only you can move to the further topics of this chapter. You will be understanding how to calculate the other things, molecular mass, atomic mass and all, and then how to derive the molecular formulae, that all coming there in this chapter. So this is first task for you. You have to study by heart that English name and our symbols of these given. These are the common elements. So, this much elements you have to study by hearted their name and symbols. Hope this much is clear to you. Thank you.